Somebody at the position of CDF, I think number 27 in the hierarchy, issuing orders, passing sentences, 10 years. Who are you? The Uganda which we want, Uganda must work for all of us. If Uganda is this abandoned patient, let the doctors stand up. Let the nurses be there. Let all of those who care for this Uganda stand up and be counted. Son of a former president. It's a very different issue. Very different. And there's no presidency which is forever. You are going to be a son of a former president at some point. And now you're going to have to come to a different level and interact with others also. I think this isolation and this security thing, locking down places is going to remain forever. I've spent most of my life outside of those trappings, but I've lived in those trappings. I can address myself, I can move freely amongst people because of the conduct of those who came before us. So, choices have to be made, and those choices, many of those choices are not us to make. It is those in the first family to make the choices which is going to benefit them. But where we are concerned is when it affects Uganda, I have a right to speak. If you choose whether or not you're going to solve these other issues, that's yours. But for Uganda, I must speak. For your own benefit, it's up to you whether you decide to do so or not. But what I can assure Muhoozi, there's no presidency forever. When you're a son of a former president, life may be very different. Prepare for it, which is going to be off the table. Anything which is permissible by law, we are going to engage. But we're also ready to go and push the boundaries a bit further. But we're going to be acting in the interests of the well-being of the citizens of Uganda. Now, many of these questions are actually directed at the wrong person. You ask me questions about the behavior of somebody, and there's somebody who has great authority over that person. Who's the one to act? If you said, if that was your son, what would you do? That's a different question. Very different question. If that was my son, what would I do? This is a public office. And I've tried to plead on this basis that you are making things difficult for even those who love and care for you. You make it very difficult. You mentioned it's crossing borders. We are the shame of East Africa. Uganda is the shame of East Africa. You mistreat Martha Karua as pillar in East Africa. You're not satisfied, you go for Miriam Matembe. We are ashamed. And that is where a lot of that question happens. Who is in charge? Who is really in charge? Because this is beyond an office, beyond, it's affecting the whole country. It's affecting our relationship with neighbors. We are the laughingstock. The whole world has looked at this issue. What are we doing about it? I can complain, but I have no authority over the person in that office. So what you should be asking is, where is the president as far as this is concerned? Mr. President, where are you? Where are you? We are all Ugandans. We all have our concerns. There are those who are scared of speaking their concerns. I am ready to speak their concerns, but where are we going as a country? So rather than address it to some of us, you should be addressing the president. And there I will agree with Salam. Let us address the president. If I sit with the president, I say, Mr. President, things are going wrong. It's going wrong. And if it goes wrong, where are we supposed to go? Where are we supposed to go? I've been in exile before. People think exile is an easy thing. It's not. It's not. The same I was reading about people going to jail, the trauma which you go through, there are things which you cannot explain until you go through it. But this is our country. all of us should be able to say, for God and my country, what are you prepared to do for your country? For me, I'm prepared to do what I can do for my country. And until they stop me, I'll have to do it without apology. We should get out of this issue. We're all human beings. Muhoozi, son of a president. I was born son of a president. Many of these people, whatever, I was born when he was president. But I spent most of my life outside. Uganda People's Congress will not be quiet. And I call upon my sister parties, let us save our country. Who is going to save it for us? There are those who want to run abroad. It's our country. The Americans have had their interests. Other people have had their interests. They talked about the Great Lakes region. What is happening in the Great Lakes region? Uganda has a finger. I saw recently, it's effectively we are controlling Eastern Congo or the economic routes. I would not complain so much if it was benefiting the citizens of Uganda. Statistics, recently the president was talking, life expectancy, birth rates. It's critical. Ugandans are dying. One statistic which shocked me, 26% of the children under 5, Uganda children under 5 are stunted. Stunted. I have lived in many places, I've been a refugee. And there's no country which is as blessed as Uganda. We go around the country blessed by nature, but we cannot even feed our own children. 26% of Ugandan children are stunted. That's physically stunted. Meaning mentally. That many more are damaged. Why are they after Miriam Matembe? Was Miriam Matembe carrying guns? She talked. She spoke her mind. And there are those who get uncomfortable when people speak their mind. What was Martha doing? Her work. Martha Karua was doing her work. So, talking is the weapon which we have. And we must exercise it. And talking, I will not just say talking is just talking. How did God make the world? He spoke. He spoke the word. So I will speak the word. I will speak justice in Uganda. I'll speak freedom. I'll speak hope. I'll plant those seeds. Let us plant those seeds. Seeds of hope. Seeds of a future which works for us. That they cannot stop me. They will not stop any of us from doing that, and that's what we're going to do. I am not interested in killing anyone. I'm not interested in putting anyone in a basement. I'm not interested in locking anybody up. I'm interested in Uganda which works for all of us, irrespective of our parties, where we can respect one another, we can do our politics. That's the Uganda. And what do we do about it? We'll speak about it. We'll write. We'll do anything. We'll continue, but we'll work within the law. But those who think they're going to cower us into becoming some whimpering or people who are not good, I'm not going to be part of those ones. I've said I'm not ready to go into the future on my knees. I won't go on my knees. So if it's only to speak, I'll speak. But clearly, speaking is offending people. Speaking alone is offending people. Those who are writing are being offended. Kalejira. There are many others who are affected by speaking. To be responsible, those of us who can speak must be responsible to stand up and speak for Uganda. As UPC, I am not ready to see Uganda abandoned on the wayside by people who do not care about the future of Uganda. I'll put my life on the line for Uganda. And what is Uganda without its people? We have been given this issue of fear, fear, fear. What are we fearing? We're going to die. After you're born, you're going to die. Unless Jesus comes. Yeah, but you can't bank on that one. The surest thing is that you're going to die. What are you going to do when you're alive? As a congressman, UPC, which invested, and today they like saying Obote, the problem of Uganda was Obote. What did Obote do for Uganda? If I'm to break it down, I touched on health. Obote in the 60s, you look at the second 5-year development plan from 66, Obote envisioned a health service which worked for the people of Uganda. And he started building it where we didn't even have a medical school. We had less than 400 doctors in Uganda, but we built a medical system based on the people. Uganda today, we cannot take care of our interns. Others are saying, no, some are private. I don't care whether they're private or whether they came from it. If they treat Ugandans, that's all we need to know. If these people can save a Ugandan life, this one baby, if we can save one baby, if one intern can save one baby, that is a Uganda we must work for. We must be able to stand for those who cannot speak for themselves. But they're the future. But we've been terrorized. We've been put into fear. Fear has to end. Fear has to end, and it has to be taken over by a purpose, a greater purpose than what we stand for. A greater purpose which has brought us all here together today. And that purpose must be a Uganda which works for its citizens. Health service must work on the basis of the medical professionals. It's not the buildings. We boast the buildings which we did. And we were proud of those buildings. But the key thing which makes it work is the medical professionals doing their duty. The doctor is in charge. You have your nurse there. You have the whole team working together. That is what makes, that's how you save a patient. So how are we going to save Uganda? Not by silence. Uganda will not be saved by silence. People have to stand up and take the bull by the horns. If there are people who have outgrown their offices, this Uganda is bigger than all of us. And just as in an operating theater, I'm sure our Musa will be able to expound better. There are roles, specific roles. You don't get the attendant coming and saying, no, we're going to do an operation. No. A surgeon